Good morning, my lovelies, and welcome along to lesson 299. We'll pause before we jump into the lesson to just drop into awareness and to set ourselves up for another holy day filled with miracles. And so we gently close our eyes down. We find our attention down at our feet, and we just gently press your foot soles down towards the earth, getting that sense of grounding, that sturdiness. Moving up into your sit bones and gently pushing your sit bones down into the seat. Take a nice long deep breath into your belly. Lift your shoulders and your chest with that breath in. And as you exhale, drop your shoulders down and back, opening up the chest and the heart. Tuck your chin in slightly to lengthen out the back of your neck. And take a little time here being present to your breath. We begin this day in gratitude. We open our hearts and we surrender to love. We ask love to lead the way through the minutes and the hours of this new day. We welcome joy, fun, and abundant prosperity. We recognize that all encounters are wholesome and that all experiences can be met with a peaceful heart that is anchored in the truth that we are one, we are love, and that we are free. And so we release these words and we let it be. Let's take a look at lesson 299. Eternal holiness abides in me. So again, this beautiful confirmation of your true nature. My holiness is far beyond my own ability to understand or know. Yet, God, my source, who has created it, acknowledges my holiness as God's own. Our will together understands it, and our will together knows that it is so. And I guess I'm wondering where you are in terms of acceptance of your holiness and recognition of your holiness. Because I know in the beginning of the course, when we begin to say something that seems so alien to us, this idea that we're holy, it can be a challenge and a struggle, and many have shared that it's not the easiest thing in the world to accept your holiness. And I know, I'm sure I've shared this with you before, but when I started working with this, I had a picture of me when I was 7 making my first Holy Communion. And I used to keep that beside my laptop just as that reminder of my holiness, as though I needed to see the innocence in my eyes as a child. Because beyond my communion, there were many stories that carried with them guilt and shame, etc., etc. And so to return to this innocence, I found having the picture there helpful. But of course, as we move through the course itself, we recognize, or we're taught to recognize, that anything that has ever happened to us or anything we have ever done has not changed our innocence or altered our innocence or our holiness in any way whatsoever. So the first that being presented with this idea, but then we've got to actually take it on. We've got to find full acceptance of this and come to recognize our holiness, our light, our beauty. So check in with where you are with that. And if you're not in that recognition of it, asking the Holy Spirit, asking your divine wisdom to help you to come to terms with this truth, to really believe this truth, to get this. And so it goes on in prayer. My source, my holiness is not of me. It is not mine to be destroyed by sin. It is not mine to suffer from attack. Illusions can obscure it, but cannot put out its radiance nor dim its light. It stands forever perfect and untouched So it's like our stories and like our experiences come like clouds, and they're like these dark clouds that are blocking the sunlight, but the sunlight is always there. And it's us that energizes and feeds the clouds, because even the clouds can just dissipate and disappear. They are part of the illusion. In it, all things are healed, for they remain as you created them. And I can know my holiness, for holiness itself created me. And I can know my source, because it is your will that you be known. So it is the will of love, the will of God, the will of our source, that it be fully known to us, that we actually get this. And so if we sort of drop our blocks, or are willing to take this to the Holy Spirit and ask for help in releasing our blocks, and dissolving anything that's in the way of us knowing our true nature, then we will come to know it. And often, it's through others as well, and the feedback or the response of others, that we begin to realize they were actually in acceptance of our nature, and we've started to shine our light. So when you'll experience others being kind to you, or noticing you, or commenting on changes in you, noticing that you've moved to this place of peace in your life. And as they kind of, I suppose, reflect that back to you, then you start to shine a little bit more and a little bit more. So that's why we use that expression of walking each other home, taking each other back to the love that we are. So today you're going to repeat, as you move into your meditation, this affirmation: eternal holiness abides in me. Eternal holiness abides in me. Eternal holiness abides in you.